Hello, welcome to day 3 of our Quick Start training. So today we're going to look at some of the different design elements that we can build in when we're building our pages. And this is the page that we're aiming for, and let's have a quick look at the preview so we can see what it looks like. So see, we've got some animated effects here on the flowers. If you look at the way it scrolls, we've got some scroll effects, and we've got, as we go down to the next image, you can see that we've got text over the top of the next image and we've got a shopping button. So let's go back to the edit and let's have a look at some of the elements that we've got here. So the top part here is a banner. The second image here is also a banner. And then we've got a third empty banner at the bottom here with our shopping button on. So let's go ahead and see if we can recreate this. So if you're doing this yourself, then you will go to the Builders, drag and drop Pixel Perfect Builder, blank page, and then you'll be starting from a place like this. So the first thing that we're going to do is add a banner. So add banner, and then just select any banner. I always select the top one. Okay, so we've got the banner in place. Right click on the banner and appearance, and we're going to load an image into here. So click on here and then we're clicking to upload an image. Select the image you want to use and confirm, and we've got our image at the top of the page. Okay, so if we then just scroll down a bit, then we can insert the image that's underneath. So actually, this obviously we could go ahead and add the banner like we did last time, but we could also just copy the banner that's also that's already in place. But I'm going to go ahead and add a new banner. Okay, so I'll just drag this down so it's underneath the banner at the top. And we need to move the footer down, and you'll see that when I clicked on the footer, it automatically puts itself under the banner that we've just inserted. Right click, appearance, images, and we will upload or select, if you've already uploaded your images, this image, confirm. Okay, and then we had a third banner at the bottom, which we just had our buy button in. So add banner. In fact, we don't really need a banner, but I mean, might as well add one while we're here. And we'll make this banner white because we don't want any color. So appearance, color, white. And then we'll just change the size of it now. So I grab hold of the drag line just to drag it up a bit. And that's where the Shop Now button's going to be. So to move the banner, to move the footer up, I just click in there and I'm dragging up the banner just by holding down the left mouse button and then scrolling up to move the footer up. So there's no space between the footer and my bottom banner. Okay, so we've got the 3 banners in place. Now if we just have a look at the page that we're aiming to produce, you'll see that we've got text inside transparent boxes. Now there's a good reason for this, and that's having a transparent box, it doesn't detract from the text or the overall design too much, but it does make the text stand out. And it means that we can use, for example, as we've done here, light coloured text on a light coloured background. And we've done it in a way that the text stands out, but that the background blends into the transparent box blends into the background. So let's go back to the tutorial page and we'll look at how we do this. Okay, so it's just a case of add a box. So just add that box, and we'll drag it into the approximate shape that we want it. We can change that obviously when we've got the text on it. And right click as always, and appearance and color. We're going to make it transparent, so I'm just going to make it a grey for now. Now to change the transparency, click on more colors here And then you'll see we've got a transparency slider. And you can see here, it tells you that the level of transparency that you've got. So we can change the transparency. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. You might like more, you might like less. You may want to have made this instead of a grey box, a white box, and that these tutorials are really just to give you a flavour for the sorts of things that you can do. So I suggest that you have a play around with them and see what really works for you and the effects that you like. So we've got the banner, the box, sorry, let's take off the border because we don't want a border. Okay, and that's fine. So let's add the text on top of that. So click to add the text. And then we'll just center this text. Change the font and the size. This, I think, was Cafe Brazil. Yep, there it is. And the size is 100. And we'll change the colour to white. Okay, so we've got something's blooming. So we've got our text on a slightly transparent background, and let's make that a little bit more transparent. So more colours and just adjust the transparency. So that's probably too faint now, but I mean you get an idea of how we can change the transparency and that we still have the text so it stands out from the box. So I'm just going to make this box a little bit smaller now so it's tighter around the text, and that you can see, as we noticed yesterday, that once we put an element onto a box, it stays fixed there. So this is a good way to be able to move things around the page. So now what we need to do is to sort of repeat the process to add the second block of text down here. So I'm going to pause the video and go ahead and get that started. Okay, so I've added another transparent box and the text, and then I've added the coupon code because here I'm offering someone a coupon code that they can spend in my store this week, for example, to celebrate the start of spring. You'll notice that the coupon code has a faint white outline around it. This is simply another box that I added to the site. Appearance, I made the center of the box transparent but kept the border, so I had a white 1 pixel border. So if you want to make a border around something, that's the easiest way to do it. Just add a box to your page, make the box itself transparent, and I'll show you how the setting for that. Color, central background color, if we click here, this box on the very far right of the colour picker, that's transparent. So if you ever want anything transparent, you just click that and it will turn it transparent, as we've done here. So we've got our text, and now all remains is for us to add a button. So click, add button, and because we're going to change the button, we can just add any button that takes our fancy. And drag that into place. So to edit this, again, right click and appearance. And you remember from when we've looked at this before that this opens the edit panel, and this is where we can change the color of the background and the text. And we have a different color when it is hovered over, so that you could make it more interesting to look at. So I'm just going to pause the video and edit this button. Okay, so this button, you'll see that I've given it a thick border to make it really stand out from the page, and that I've had it so that I've set it so that it has a different color. It reverses when it's hovered over, as you can see here. It's a neat little feature, and it's just something that really highlights the button for people. And while we're sort of talking about design, I've chosen pink here because it contrasts with the green background. Again, that we really want this to stand out from the page and to make it really obvious that this is where we want what we want people to do. We want people to go to our store to redeem this voucher. So if we right click on this and select action, and then we select web address, and in here you would put the web address of your website or your product or whatever, and that's where people will go when they click on that button. Because we've actually got a bit more information on this page, as we've got more information on this page, I've included a down arrow, as you can see here. This is quite a useful thing to add. If you've got a long page, it's quite useful to add visual clues to tell people that there's more information underneath so that they know to scroll down because you've got more content there. Because otherwise people may think that all they're seeing is just what's in their browser in front of them and not know to scroll down. The other thing that we need to do is to make this top banner a bit larger because there's not big enough to hold the content box that we've got here. So I've just expanded the banner by clicking hold of this little arrow, this little handle here and dragging down, and this will make the banner bigger or smaller as I want. So now let's just check that my banner underneath is butted up to the top. Yes, it has. Now, if you remember on the page that we looked at, the page that we're aiming to produce, that we had some scroll effects. And the way I did that was, so right click, appearance, and we look at image, and then we go to the setting button here. So I click on this, and you'll see that we can set up, we can set the banner, the image in the banner, so different things happen. We can have it so it's fixed on the page, so when it scrolls, the banner stays still, but the page scrolls up and down. We can have a parallax effect, or we can have no effect. So we're going to set it to the parallax effect. And we can also set it so if you wanted to have a pattern here, for example, you could actually have a repeating pattern. So you could just load a small tile and then have it so it repeats on the page. And we can also set the position of the image. So if you wanted it to be set so it was justified to the right or the left or the center. So we'll just leave that like this for the moment, and we'll see as we click down, you'll see this now sort of reveals the image underneath it. So that's a nice effect for sort of like revealing your product, a new product range, or introducing something like that. We're sort of we've got the effect of revealing something. The other thing that I remembered that we've got to do that I haven't done is to add the flowers. So that's add image. And right click to change the image. Or just pick a flower, confirm. While I'm here, this actually illustrates something quite a useful point. That if you're used to working with some graphic software, you'll know that you work in layers. And with some page builders, it's a similar thing, that we also work in layers. So the last element or the last object you add to a page is on the top layer. So this flower now is above this block of text. So if I right click on my flower, here you can see I can adjust the layer that it's on. So if I click here, I've taken the layer down, so now the text is on top of the flower. If I click up again, the flower is now on top of the text. So sometimes if you find that you can't get to an element is hidden behind something else, have a look at the layer option and see whether or not you need to adjust the layers up or down. Right, we had an animated effect on here, and we had rotating entrance. So we had it rotating in when the element appears on the page, and confirm. So to add the other flowers, Control C, Control V to copy and paste, and change the image. and confirm. So now I've added all 4 flowers, and if we go to preview, we'll see that we've got that rotating effect. And I'll go back to edit. Okay, so now all that remains for us to do is to add some text to this banner here. So click Add Text. Visit our new products. Obviously, in real life, we'd put something a little bit more interesting than that. So visit our new products, and then we'll just have the buy button underneath. When you select, and then we'll just add the button again. So all we can do, rather than recreate it, is copy and paste, as I've been doing, or right click and duplicate, and then just drag that into place down at the bottom. Okay, so we've now got a sales page that says something's blooming. We're giving a discount code. If you wanted to, you could put the discount code the same as we did yesterday, so people had to sign up before to get the discount code. But we're just making it really easy for them to go through to the shop. We're revealing another image, some products, and we've got another shopping button. We also need to add, let's just make this a little bit smaller. So reduce the size of that one as well. And we also need to add our legal pages. And if you remember, we did that on day 1, but I'll do it again now. So it's click on the layouts, click on default, add page, select legal, and then choose from the legal pages that we have here, and privacy policy, and confirm. And as I said the other day, that if you want to advertise your page on Facebook or Google, then we need to have privacy policy and terms and conditions clearly available on the site. And it is good practice to do so anyway. So we could either add that as a menu, or let's just quickly add it as text. So I'm going to add privacy policy. You see it's gone yellow and it's telling me it's appearing on all pages because it's in the footer. So privacy policy. And if I right click and just edit this animation, edit the text, sorry, click on link, and we can link obviously to other websites. We can do other things on here. We can trigger pop-ups and video as we can with other elements, but we want it to go to another page, so we're just going to send them to the privacy policy. So now I've linked the footer, I've linked this in the footer to the privacy policy. So that's a quick overview of how this page is created. What we need to do now is to make a mobile version, and we need to think carefully about how we're going to do this, because the flowers are nice and they're pretty, but are they really essential, and are they actually going to are they going to look good on mobile? Probably not. So let's just go to the mobile version. And we'll start dragging some of the elements into position so we can get a feel for how it's going to look. When we start using the responsive builder, we won't need to worry about creating a different view for mobile, but we'll still need to think about the elements that we want to include and the elements that we don't want to include. So let's first off just change the font at the top. Move this out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, and I'll change the box that's behind it. I don't want the box to cover the whole page, so I just go like this and scroll down and drag this up so it's in place. And I've mentioned this before, but if you click on this little icon here, it moves everything up or down together. Okay. And then we'll add this, which is the name, the text that actually tells them what the offer is. Change the box. Okay. And then, I mean, it's just a case of dragging the places into position so that they look good and they're not overlapping. So I'll switch the video off while I just go ahead and do this. Okay, so I've just got that text in order. I've created quite a big button. I think it's important on mobile to make things as easy as possible for people. So don't have a button that's so small that they're sort of like clicking away all over or tapping away all over the mobile device to actually find the button. Make it big and bold so it's really easy for them to tap. Now you see that we've got our flowers here at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one, just make it small and add it just as a little sort of feature up here. Or maybe I'll add two, stick one either side of the little arrow button. And then what we need to do, once I've done that, let me just quickly add that to the relevant place. I think it was up here. Okay, so what we need to do with the elements that we don't want to have on the mobile device, on the mobile view, we don't want to delete these. If we delete them, we'll delete them from the desktop as well. So we want to hide it. So if we right click and click on the little I button here, it's gone up here and that element is hidden. So what that's telling us is this element is hidden on this view. So click again and it's hidden. If we go up here, we can see the elements that we have hidden on this view, and that's how. Oh, I've just reinstated them. Oops. So if you want to reinstate them, that's what you do. This is really useful because, as we said, that there will be some things that you might want to have on mobile that you don't want to have on desktop, and there may be some things you want to have on desktop that you don't want to have on mobile. So you can just hide the ones that you don't want on a specific view. So let's just drag this banner up so it's underneath the text that we've already created. Okay, and that looks okay. And then we'll go down to and decide what we want now. So we'll add our visit our new products. We'll add that. We will add this button and the banner that button goes on. Okay, so and we'll add the privacy policy to the footer. So that's sort of done. And then we'll just drag these up into position. Okay, so I've got that in position, and I've got the Go Shopping Now button, and we just need to reduce this space at the bottom between the privacy policy and the rest of the, oops, there we go, the rest of the site. So we'll drag that up. There's one useful thing, because all the elements are presented at the side here and we drag them into place, sometimes if you've got something in white, it can be difficult to see it on this white background. So if we click here, this turns the background grey, and it will show if we've actually got any elements that we've got hidden on the side here that we actually haven't added to our page. So let's just illustrate that. This doesn't show on the white background, so I might have forgotten that image, that icon. But if I just make it go dark, the background go dark, I can see any elements that I've forgotten to add to the page. So that's now the mobile version. So let's go back to the desktop again. So we've created a landing page that we're using to give a coupon code. Now, one of the really cool things that we can do is to, I'm going to save this. Okay, one of the really cool things that we can do is to actually create a social media graphic from this. So I'll show you how we're going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this page so I don't mess the page up that we're already working on. So this is tutorial. So I click on the little cog icon here and click on duplicate page, confirm. And I've duplicated the page and it's currently called tutorial 1. I'm going to call it social media. So I remember what it is I've done. And save. Okay, so if I wanted to make make something that I could use on social media that tied in with this landing page, I can go ahead and do so just by changing some of these elements a bit. And one of the powerful things about this is that it keeps the flavour going when you advertise or promote something on social media. People like the graphic you've created, they like what you're saying, they then go to your landing page, and if your landing page looks very similar to what they've already seen, they already feel comfortable with what they've seen, they like what they've seen, and they've already got a connection going. If you've got a page, an advert or promotion running, which is completely different to the landing page that they then come on, it's caused a bit of a disconnect, and that you're having to sort of like build a little bit of a relationship already again. So if we can create a social media graphic which is very similar to how this page looks, then we've actually got a connection between a social media graphic and this page. So this is so easy to do. Let's decide what we're going to have. So we'll have, we'll use part of this page which is a darker green, so the text already stands out on this, and that we will move this text. I'm going to hide this box here because we don't actually want to give people the coupon code at this stage. We're going to move down the something's blooming, celebrate the start of spring on us, and I'm going to highlight this text. I'm just going to add a drop shadow to this text, just so it stands out on this background, but very slight drop background. I don't like too much drop shadow. Sorry. Okay, something's blooming, start of spring. I'm going to move a couple of these flowers so that they just add a little bit of interest to this graphic. Okay, celebrate the start of the, and then come and get 20% discount. And I'll use Railway Bolt for that. Okay, so we've got something that's going to look okay here. Now, if we go to preview, and we just let the animations finish animating. If you go to the camera here, we can actually take a screenshot of this part of the page and use it as a for our social media graphic. So let's go here. We'll drag it over the bit that we want to use for our social media graphic, and drag it into position. And that is now saving to my hard drive. There we go. So I've now just taken made a social media graphic which is similar in feel, look and feel, to the landing page that they're going to be landing on. So we will return to the page. So what we've done today is we've looked at some of the ways that we can use different design features to create different look and feel with our pages. And while we're talking about design, there's just something else I want to quickly show you while we're here. And that's if we go to the Pixel Perfect Builder, if we go to new website, and wait while it's loading. Okay, if I scroll down to the bottom here, this is something that will be quite fun to explore. You'll see something called Design Creator, and this uses the same sort of principles as we did to create the social media graphic. That there are a lot of ready-made templates here, for example, Facebook headers, infographics, business cards, etc. Edit them, click to edit, drag in your own photos, add your own text, and then do the same as we did before, so that you take a screenshot of that part, and you have your Facebook banner or a promotional graphic or something ready-made. And there's a lot of different templates here that you can use and edit. So that's something quite cool to play with. So thank you very much for bearing with me for today, which is day 3. Tomorrow, day 4, we're going to be looking at creating a long form sales page, and we're going to be looking at adding a PayPal button to that sales page, and how we can actually sell from that page. So look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Bye.